Yes, yes. What the hell? No, no, no. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo. I don't know what that was. What am I supposed to do with my hands? It's another week. It's another bunch of toys, another day, another dollar that we don't have because we've already put in too many pre-orders. Looking forward to stuff. I need another job. It's getting kind of crazy. But that's okay because we have self-control, right? I mean, I don't really need that piece of plastic representation of a franchise that I really adore. You know, like Star Wars. Last week we got a glimpse at what may come in Hasbro's Star Wars The Black Series Empire Strikes Back whiz-bang shindig of a good time 40th anniversary vintage carded line. Can we get more descriptors in that name, please? Thank you. Over the weekend we got actual pictures of the first wave from Toy Hideout on Instagram. They apparently have a booth at Frankensons, which is known for getting stuff super early. And then I saw it, but forgot to take a screenshot and I don't know who it was, but there's also a shop in Europe that verified this by posting their own pictures. The set currently showing up consists of Hoth Leia, Bespin Han, AT-AT Driver, yeah I said AT-AT, fight me, Yoda and Bespin Luke. We knew this line was coming, but Hasbro hadn't said what the official character lineup was going to be. Except for Dagobah Luke, which we as fans voted on last year to be in the 40th anniversary line. But I've seen the comments of, no new characters, this line sucks. These aren't for you. These aren't for the people who open or just want one character on the shelf. This is for the people that are just jumping in. This is a restock of main characters, and this is for suckers like me who cannot pass up the nostalgia of the vintage card. This is exactly what happened with the 40th anniversary line of A New Hope. It was characters we already had. Some characters we had just gotten. Again, refresh and damn that look. Hell, both Hoth Leia and Bespin Han we've had several times. In fact, in the room I have one sitting on the desk and two on the shelf within 3 feet of each other. All the exact same figure. I don't even remember where I got all of them. Same goes for Bespin Han. Yoda just showed up several months ago in Archive Wave 2 with the new photoreal face, and currently he's on Walmart shelves in spirit form. It's been a minute since we've seen the AT-AT Driver, so that's kind of cool. I may need a couple more of those. Do I? Oh, well... still have some to open, but another one is not a bad thing. Army Builder tops. The hot one here may be Bespin Luke because he has the photo real upgrade to his face. The original one didn't have this, and it really sticks out on the shelf at this point. The body itself looks like a reissue, which is kind of a shame because it is a little bit limited, especially having him standing straight up, but at least it'll look better up here. But this is a good place to do reissues. It's not the main line, so it's not taking up spots for new characters. And if it's anything like A New Hope 40th anniversary, they'll go on pegs and be gone. So it's not like it's getting in the way of anything else. No info on the official release date, but if these are already shipping to retailers or in backrooms somewhere, I'm figuring they're going to get announced at Toy Fair, and then it's going to be like a, here they are, order them, get them, got them good, done. Also from Hasbro, just this morning, the Hasbro fan channel exclusive Marvel Legends movie Black Widow in white suit was solicited. And I find myself fairly impressed. I love little dio pieces and effects, and making this a deluxe type release with those kind of things. I wish I could take better pictures, and I wish I had dioramas all over the place and explosions, you know? So when I see a release like this that I want to get, I can think, I can take better pictures, if only I believe. But then I'll get this, I'll put the White Widow on the shelf, and the explosions will go in a box, and I'll forget about them, and then... Sure, it's Black Widow in a white costume, but I really like this look, and I'm not going to ponder on it too excessively, really, when it comes down to it. The body proportions are nice, the face looks great, the hair, the photo real, and look, it's got guns! And also some kind of whip baton chain whippy things. But like I said, what catches my eye here is the effects. You got the big explosions, which I think is from the Stormtrooper pack that came with those kinds of explosions. It's somewhere around here. It's got some reuse Iron Man blasts, but I think my favorite here is the wrist clamp blue ones that look like she's shooting the Widow Sting out of her bracer. Alternate hands, which at this point should be fairly common for all releases, and then a stand that may or may not be considered a little bit overly complicated. I like the holes in the base. You can put the explosions there, then have her up in the air. It looks adjustable, but it looks a little bit bulky. Well, I'll give anything a try once or twice. Like I said, fan channel exclusive, so it's available on Dorkside Toys right now. It's $30, and it should release in April. Now, when I posted this on the Fwoosh front page earlier in the week, I was immediately jumped upon for not proofreading and misspelling the names of these characters. Really? Right after Ellie's backpack tease from last week, and that's Ellie with a Y, Lim Toys revealed their Lim Mini, All That Remains Joel, which is J-O-L, and Ellie, again with a Y. Yep, just two random survivors of some unknown zombie apocalypse thing. Kinda wish there was a game or a property, something to back these up, to give me some kind of better, background on these characters, because they look interesting. Just in case you're reaching for your keyboard right now to tell me all about The Last of Us, easy killer. I'm just joking. Deep down somewhere, I know it's wrong producing unlicensed product like this, but at the same time, the action figure guy in me is like, damn, those look pretty good. It's just too bad that I'm not a big enough fan of the game itself to want to actually pre-order these. But like I said, impressive, especially how loaded down they are. I'm not going to get into listing all the accessories that come with these figures, but there's that, and ooh, look at that. Oh, and it comes with some of those. I'm guessing there will be future versions of these that are a little bit different because all the pictures here are dubbed summer version. So maybe, again, I don't know the game, so maybe there's a winter edition with heavy coats or something. Ellie will run you about $85. Joe will cost you about $88. But you can get both in a set for slightly cheaper at $165. And these are scheduled for Q2 or Q3 of this year. That's a wide open target to hit, which brings us back around to something I commented on last week after talking about Lim Toys, and that is their Ahab. Yup, another original character they came up with. I had mentioned that Ahab was supposed to be released in December, and it hadn't, and we hadn't heard anything from it. Well, I was completely wrong. I'm the first to admit it. On December 21st, Lim Toys had posted that there would be a delay, and to make up for it, they were going to upgrade the holster to where it now opens and closes. For all versions of this release, we're going to get alternate boots with more articulation in them. And then they're working on weapons to make them more detailed. So it's kind of like, I don't have this in my hands yet, but I'm getting extra stuff. Okay, cool. Going back to November 25th, they posted an in-production picture of how the printing was working on Ahab's head with the hairs and everything, and I gotta admit, it looks pretty good, especially for their first foray into 1/12 scale. They say the new release date is Q1. Again, wide target, but hopefully we'll see this soon. To be honest, in the rush to get the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rocksteady and Bebop, and then the excitement of the announcement of the wave with Casey and April and Leatherhead and Slash, I had completely forgot about NECA's TMNT Turtles in Time assortment. This week, carded pictures of these were released, and again, like I always say, you see carded pictures, you think, oh, it's right around the corner, I'm gonna have toys. Consisting of video game pixelated versions of Donatello, which you should lead any TMNT line with Donatello being the most popular and best turtle, There's also Leonardo, a foot soldier, and Slash, which I had completely, when I saw the cartoon line version of Slash, I thought, oh, we're finally going to have Slash. Forgetting about this release, which will probably come first in the video game look. And there's been a lot of toys. It's getting to where I can't keep up with all this, and it's a terrible problem to have. These are set to release in February, which it's January. February's right next month. What did I just say about not being able to keep up with, well, toys in general, but also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? There's a lot of releases. Super 7 posted a paint sample of their TMNT Ultimates line Baxter Stockman, and I'm loving the colors here. It's got that classic feel from, when we were kids and playing with Playmates toys. It looks like that, but Baxter may be different enough to where you could fit him into your overall display with turtles from other companies. So many turtles! Why is life so hard? Storm Collectibles, Mortal Kombat, Raiden. Teased, solicited, badass. If you close your eyes, go ahead, close your eyes right now. In your head, picture your version of Raiden. Whether you played the video games from way back or you've just seen pictures online, you got that? Now open your eyes. Right? The blues, the whites, the hat. There may be some embellishments that I don't remember, but it's been some years. And like I always say, Robo don't know Mortal Kombat. But just like Sub-Zero that was solicited a couple of, weeks ago, month ago, somewhere in there. The accessories, at least for me, may be the reason I buy this set because, God, man, they're coming out with some awesome stuff. 2 bolts, and then electric fingers, along with a more subdued lightning field that is supposed to encompass the exploding head of your enemies. The tongue. Ew. Also, if you look at Sub-Zero in these pictures, it has like translucent icy arms. People are saying that may be a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. I don't know. I saw these pictures and I thought, oh, that's weird. I do know that Raiden will run you about $70 and releases in April. Amazon Japan posted new promotional pictures for the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Starscream, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is actual production figure. Looking at this now, even though I like the Siege version of Starscream, I mean, a lot. I really, really like it. Looking at these pictures makes me want to go set that thing on fire. Okay, that's dramatic. There's room on my shelf for both the Cybertronian version of Starscream and then the Earth version. But man, everybody knows that I'm not really into the alt modes or the transformations themselves for Transformers, but that jet mode is amazing. It's just so G1. Looking at the robots side by side, you can tell that they kind of reined in the detail work, but it's not exactly just flat panels in robot mode either. The look and feel still matches the overall toy line, it's just a little bit more subtle. It does look a little blockier in the torso though. The cleanliness of the overall figure, I don't know. This is the Starscream I remember. It makes me want it. And then again, Thundercracker, Skywarp, the Rainmakers. I'll buy all those again, just because they look a little bit more G1-ish. Slave to the nostalgia, and both Hasbro and Takara know that. This should hit around March. That's my birthday. I hate to even talk about this one, because if you miss this, I don't envy you at this point. Mezco announced Tuesday that they would be putting the 1/12 Collective 1989 Michael Keaton Batman on sale at noon on Wednesday, the next day. And it was a bloodbath. Invalid credit cards, failed PayPal transactions, multiple email confirmations, or even orders, the site dropping out. I was sweating for 30 minutes, just, what's that? And when I finally walked away to go set up for a review, I came back and it had actually went through and processed. I only got one email, but I've heard some stories. I've seen things. And I don't know what justifies making a certain figure or character a Mezco exclusive, which means you can only get it from the Mezco site, but I have seen other Mezco exclusives last way shorter, much smaller window. So 4 hours is, I don't know, seems like a very large window for that type of exclusives. But at the same time, there's a lot of people going, I would have liked to order that when I was actually off work and such. As for the base price, when I first saw it, I kind of did a double take at the 110. I thought, it's just Batman with some clothes, what's going on here? But then when the description went up and it said that it's a seamless body, my curiosity of the actual engineering of the figure, yes, it's Keaton Batman, and I definitely want that, but I'm also just as curious about how the seamless body is going to work. From what we know of figures like TB League, it's going to be made of a squishy material with a metal skeleton, and then it's going to have the boots, the shin guards, the gloves, the gauntlets, the cowl coming down over, the belt. That's going to be all separate pieces on top of it, but what you see in the pictures that look like bodysuit, that's the actual body. So hopefully all the articulation is going to be retained here, because if you've messed with one of those TB League figures, it's all the way just... And engineering interest doesn't stop there, because besides the main head, which is Batman in the cowl with the eyes looking forward, there's also an alternate head with some blood and a different style mouth, and a third head with moving eyeballs. I mean, look at this picture. You can almost hear a whisper coming in over the wind. sending chills up your spine. I'm Batman. Also included is a cache of wonderful toys, including several different versions of the spear gun, gauntlet and time bomb, the usual assortment of hands, several batarangs including one with a rope, and even though it's not pictured or even listed in the contents, up in the description it says there are 2 capes. One that drapes naturally, and then one with wires for the flare-out effect. So after it's all said and done, $110, and it's not just a light-up feature, there's some actual new stuff going on. Yeah, gimme. And lastly, let's talk about G.I. Joe. Some e-tailer let the cat out of the bag that we're getting 6-inch scale G.I. Joe figures that may or may not be called the Classified series. Some of us have been waiting for this line for a long time, but we always assumed that Hasbro was waiting for some kind of media tie-in, which came last week when Hasbro Pulse posted the logo for the G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes movie. If that's not a good enough time to debut your new scale G.I. Joe line, there never will be. Wave 1 looks to be Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock, Destro, and Snake Eyes. This isn't the looks or anything. This is a picture that Preternia.com on Instagram put together that I borrowed to give you an idea of what characters are in Wave 1. Now I'm hearing that Snake Eyes is going to be the 2 per case because of the X2, but I'm also hearing that it may be 2 different versions of Snake Eyes. At this point, who knows? Everything's up in the air. There's excitement, there's wish listing, and The first wave is classic inspired, which I feel like is a good move. Get all the hardcore old school G.I. Joe fans in there, and then start integrating movie looks to get kind of run side by side in waves. That way you give the new movie fans something to buy, they get into the line, they start buying, they get into G.I. Joe, they go back and buy Wave 1. You know, harmony, because collectors get along so well. And hopefully the movie looks will be close enough to comic looks or cartoon looks that you can put that into your classic shelf. Or at least it's fodder for other G.I. Joes. Because if you ask me, this should be true 6-inch scale like Star Wars, which integrates cartoon looks like Rebels, Clone Wars into the movie looks, and they look good side by side. So hopefully this line goes on for a while, gets a little bit deep, gives us some army builders, both good and bad. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm going to be honest right here, as a kid, G.I. Joe was not my main line, but I love that cartoon. I'm such a sucker for teams that, well, you know, you look at any fandom, and there's going to be each person has their own specialty on it. And there's no broader range that I can think of than G.I. Joe. Hey man, you're good at football? Let's put a football and a chain as a weapon, grab your laser gun, get out there and fight. You have a good rapport with your canine? Grab a leash, laser gun, go kick some ass. You're a cooking prodigy? Chef's hat, laser gun, go. You excel at math? Grab that calculator, that laser gun, get out there on the front line. You're halfway decent at drawing turkeys by tracing your hand around. You get the idea. You know where I'm going with this. As a kid, you were like, hey, I'm good at something. I can be part of a big old team of experts. You could get out there and defeat the forces of evil, or build a weather controlling machine, whatever direction you wanted to go. Oddly enough, Veebs and I at Toy Fair last year spent half the show singing the theme song to the G.I. Joe cartoon because, well, I don't know how it got there, but once that's in your head, no getting rid of it. G.I. Joe is there! Now it's stuck in your head. As far as the figures go, we'll probably get the full debut at Toy Fair. And that's it for this week, I think. If I missed anything, we'll pick it up next week. Let me know down in the comments. If you're interested in seeing the pictures without me in front of it all, or pre-order information, more details, all of this will go on the Fwoosh front page tomorrow at noon, Saturday. And that's all I got. I'm trying to think of something else to say here, and I don't really have anything. Toy Fair's in a month. If you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe, or whatever the platform you're watching this on allows. Much love to the Plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. Land, sea, or air.